Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got...
Literally.
In the flesh. We got him.
I have materialized in your bedroom.
Yep. in the bedroom.
In the studio.
In the
Jerk Lounge.
In the fucking
this is like Jerk Lounge 2.0, I guess.
This is Jerk Lounge West now?
Yeah. The one... For now,
you're Jerk Lounge South now.
Yes.
Once you get your place all set up.
Yeah, I'm Kyle McIntyre. I'm here.
Yep, we did a video episode. So if you guys are watching over there, fucking on video and shit,
Calm down, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, we haven't done a video episode in a while. Eventually, once you get your, I think it'd be cool for 200.
Yeah,
do a video.
I have at this new place that I might be getting. There's a previous smoke lounge that someone
oh, there you go. Yeah.
There's like an outbuilding at this,
but yeah,
it's unconfirmed, but yeah.
Kyle, he's in town just for episode 200.
Yeah.
Not really.
I flew all the way here just for that.
Yeah, that's what makes it special.
No,
it's actually just gonna be a normal episode.
Yeah.
But we're yes, it's cool. You're out here. How you been? I guess like the hack thing is gonna be like, how was your trip out here?
It was fine.
But
I guess we can. I worked like the whole day, not to work brag, right?
Yeah.
But my plane was leaving at like was it like 6:55?
Mm-hmm.
I was off at like, I tried to get off as early as I could.
Yeah,
and then I still have like an hour drive to the airport, which you have to get there. Try to get there early. I barely made it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, I'm so hungry. They started boarding. I'm like, I'm gonna go grab like a snack from,
get a kebab.
Yeah, I was trying, and they had like the gate was all over, like super on the other side of the terminal, and I had to. I'm like trying to find somewhere that didn't have a line. I'm grabbing food. I'm in this line still, like 5 people, and they call my name over the yeah. I'm like, okay, I can probably do it. I'm like, I'm in denial. Like
in
I
line for your food. You're like, I guess I'm just not going to San Diego.
Yeah.
This is God telling me, don't go.
Yeah. I was so thirsty. I grabbed like a bottle of $5 or $6 water.
Yeah.
And then like they had like Kind bars, and like that's all I had. I'm like,
some Kind bud.
That's all I had. So I'm like, I'm standing in line. I'm like, and I hear my name like come, like it was echoed like into the room, like in this like side little liquor store, like convenience store they had there. I'm like,
Kyle McIntyre, and you're like, and 20 people look up. You're like,
that must be this asshole behind me.
Everybody has the same name.
Yeah. Well, they called like 5 different names for the same plane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I stood there for like maybe 10 more seconds. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I still had to run. I didn't run. I still had to go back all the way to the other side of the terminal. So I just put everything back, and I was like super thirsty and super hungry. I just dealt with it.
It was hell.
Yeah. They gave me a Sprite on the plane, so I quenched like a Sprite that's this big.
Yeah,
the small cans.
The 8-ounce ones or whatever.
Yeah. And then she's like, if you want another one, just let me know. I'm like, and she never came back.
Yeah.
Every time she was going past, she was like,
that's her move.
It's
like, oh yeah, no,
I got your back.
I'll help you out next time. There's no next time.
Yeah, exactly. Every time she was going past like the seat, she was like full on sprint.
You're like,
she goes,
it's like, trying to get like a drink at a bar. It's like, it's like you.
I guess I gotta hit the button.
Yeah. Or it's like,
I'll take that other Sprite,
you're
please.
sitting at the bar. There's nobody else around. You have your money out. And you're kind of like,
yeah.
That beer, I'm going to get that beer.
You have your like dollar. You have your 20 folded. You're like holding it out.
Yeah. And then they just take the $20 bill. And then
thanks,
just like,
bitch.
Thanks. And then
that's my tip.
It's like you'll be sitting there with like an empty beer can or empty glass or something like that. So with the beer cans, I always just make sure to crush them because I'm like, so it's done.
Yeah.
I'm here because I want to get another one of these. I'm like, and then they just like kind of just like look at you like, and then just go.
Yeah, it's your job to get me another one. By the way, I may not be a stud standing over here. I may not be an 11, but
easiest job in the world, bartender.
Yeah. I don't know, man. People talk about like it's the worst job, or it's like it's so tough.
Hardest job in the world, mom. Even harder job, stay in jail, mom. Because you got to keep thinking of new crimes.
You got to stay in jail.
I'm a stay in jail, mom. That's totally a come down bit. It's just so funny. It's just a throwaway bit. Stay in. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in jail, mom. Anyways,
So the flight
the flight
wasn't bad. It felt really short. I think it was like really like a 3.5 hour flight.
Yeah.
But I have my audio books, which we talked about.
Just
crushing those.
Crushing your Sprite.
Yeah, my half size Sprite.
It's like you see you open it.
They didn't have water. So like the lady next to me, she gave me hers, like she had poured like her glass with like it was like sparkling water that they gave her.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, you can have the rest of mine." I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
How did she know that you wanted water?
Because I asked for it and they said they didn't have any.
No water.
Yeah. Like, oh, we just ran out. Because I saw they gave like 2 rows ahead bottled water.
Yeah.
And they must have ran out. Or she just was like, "You don't get shit, bitch."
Yeah.
And the person behind me, "I'll take water." "Oh, here we go."
Look at this
I'm like,
tall motherfucker in coach.
Oh man, yeah. It wasn't that bad. The tough part is like trying to keep
Get your knees.
my legs to not move into the other person's area.
I'm just saying,
So-
it's like it's hard to drink your Sprite when your knees are at your chin.
Can I get a bendy straw, please?
You just like,
And I had they were full on the overhead, so I had to put my bag, which I brought a backpack,
yeah.
filled with like 5 or 6 sets of clothes.
I was gonna say a bunch of guns.
Yeah, they held me up. They took all my guns, but
Yeah.
they still let me fly.
Yeah.
What do you plan on doing with these? Whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Can't argue with that.
Not infringing on my rights.
Oh, got us. Must be a sovereign citizen we have on our hands.
Go
here.
ahead, sir. You have a bandolier on and shit. You're at the Texas airport. Like, well, hey,
When in Rome.
when in Rome. That's like,
Yeah, so it wasn't that bad. It was a little cramped, but you got like I said, I had my audiobook. I started just writing, like while I was listening to the story, I was just writing.
writing the story down that I was hearing.
And then I can read it later, and I said I read my own book.
Yeah.
I wrote my own book.
You're just
No.
shorthand writing it, and then you have a couple like scribbles and then like doodles in it, and then you get to the end, you're like, the end.
Yes, done. Fucking send this off to publishing.
Yeah. It's all crinkled pages. And it's like,
Should
what the
have a
hell is
test
that?
pressing by the end of the week.
What the hell is that? Jam? It's boysenberry.
Actually I was writing a story, but my own to my music that I was working on. So just like more in depth, just to kind of pass the time. And man, it felt like the flight was only like an hour and a half, if that.
Yeah.
So really helped out.
Yeah. So, you're in San Diego for a few reasons. One, to kind of like pack up and get sorting through shit.
Yeah.
To visit.
Yep.
And then, not really to do the podcast, but you're here doing it.
Yeah.
But it's also
we
like,
made an exception.
Yeah.
Could
But-
not do it, I guess.
So have you like kind of like broken it down of like, okay, where you're going to start with like, it's the packing, it's the sorting, it's the throwing away, it's the selling, it's all this within like a week and a half. Or today was just like a
Today,
decompress.
Yeah, I worked a shitload and flew in, and then I was like so tired this morning. So this all day really. So I just kind of
you're mentally prepping.
Yeah.
You're mentally.
You're
storing energy.
I flew in last night, had to get in and out.
Yeah.
They have in and out in Austin,
Yeah.
but it's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What I should have done is on the way to the airport, I should have hit in and out.
To do a good test.
Yeah, and then got some here.
Get some fucking
But then
borders.
I'd probably have to like take a shit in like the airplane bathroom, which is never fun.
Yeah.
But
Have you ever done that?
Oh, it's horrible, dude.
Really?
It's horrible. I'm like a big dude already,
Yeah.
and like
And then a tiny bathroom.
just trying to like, not to get graphic, but trying to get to those places to wipe a little hard.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You just like bend up
Just
like
saying.
a Schneider pretzel.
Yeah. Like I put my legs on the wall.
Yeah.
Hopefully that lock holds the door.
Yeah. You're just like,
Just like bust open.
and you get your fucking dick out and like, you land, you just got your ass crack on the ground.
I'm laying on the ground.
You just shit covered.
I'm just covered in shit.
It's like that scene in Tommy Boy,
Yeah,
but you're like
out.
half naked. It's just all the bottom.
Looks like I'm practicing yoga in there.
Yeah.
With shit. Anyways, not fun. Not fun. But yeah, In and Out.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
where we
yeah.
were.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got In and
yeah,
Out. Yeah. It was so good.
I guess,
The In and Out in Austin.
but it's like it's not a San Diego thing, but it's like a
it's definitely a California. Yeah. It's every time I've been on a trip, let's say like almost died on like a hike in the desert or something. It's like you see it out, you're like, "Fuck, we're stopping there." This is why we
To
live.
the victor goes.
This is why we survived.
This is why we got to keep on living. We can't let the fucking
we can't let them win.
Yeah, can't let them win.
You want the terrorists to win?
Yeah, that's, you got to eat In and Out.
So it was good, and I've had good In and Out in Dallas.
Yeah,
but Austin, I've been to one In and Out in Austin, I guess,
and
it's like it's okay.
I think I've had In and Out, and it's always been the same, but it's always been in Southern California.
Yeah,
and
I think this is what I'm thinking is that the people at In and Out in Austin love Whataburger.
Yeah,
they love it, and so they're sabotaging the food there.
It's Whataburger, but they call it Whataburger.
Whataburger. Oh yeah,
that's just
it's Whataburger, but it's that Southern twang. It's Whataburger.
Whataburger. And then
some people write it out as Whataburger, and you're like, you ain't from around here.
Yeah,
you've never seen it written out before.
Yeah, so they're big fans of that. So you're thinking that they're probably trying to sabotage.
They sabotage
the In and Out. It's like
it's such a stupid idea.
They're just like Slim Shady is like.
Yeah,
in the burgers.
Yeah, I'll eat it still.
You're like,
no,
yum.
Oh, sorry, what were you saying about In and Out? You associate it with?
No, just like Southern California. So it's like, so they're probably like, oh yeah, fucking California, get out of here.
Probably. I mean, it's everywhere now, but I don't know. Had to have In and Out today. Yeah. I had to get Regent's Pizza.
You got Regent's Pizza today?
Yeah, dude, I'm balling.
Oh, dude,
I had like breakfast burritos too.
And then you're doing everything. You're like
I'm surprised I'm not like I was sweating earlier. I was not just like
sweating marinara grease, and hot sauce. just chorizo and fucking marinara sauce coming out of your pores.
Oh god.
Regent's Pizza, fucking red. That's
dude. They've like extended their menu. Like all their food looks so good now.
And you're like
chicken sandwiches and like
you're like still getting pizza though.
Yeah, I was like maybe next time.
Yeah,
push it back later in the week. Maybe I'll get something else.
You're like, well, I'm here all week,
but
so
I'll take a Chicago meat lovers over anything, really.
Yeah. I was gonna say like you get to San Diego and you just start doing all the touristy San Diego things or things that you like. I loved about San Diego. You start doing all those, and then you're on the plane ride back to Texas, and you're like,
oh shit.
What?
I forgot to do all that bullshit.
All the actual work that you're supposed to do.
Yeah, so I'll be packing up the garage, trying to figure out how I'm going to get everything to Texas. We really haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, because you got furniture, you got
some of the stuff,
garage shit, you got cars, you got like motorcycles.
Motorcycles, getting rid of.
Yeah.
Already decided on that.
Got to do that this week.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's a week, but it's gonna go by quick.
I know.
And then so you kind of have to like. I would assume you would have to kind of like visualize everything first to see what you're packing because what you're taking because you have to pack it first.
Yeah,
you don't know. Be like, oh, I need a truck or I need to hire a company to do it.
What I'm gonna do is tape out like a certain size, like I don't know what I'm trying to say, like a area on the floor in the garage that's going to be like, symbolize like the size of the truck or whatever we're doing, either pod or a truck, and then start stacking things in there and kind of seeing what is going to make it and what's not.
Yeah, you're not going to do like what's it, the moving truck
U-Haul? Yeah, I'll probably do U-Haul.
Or sometimes you can hire like a 53-foot trailer just so I can just load it up.
Yeah,
have a company do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like $8,000, right?
It's a lot. I think it's even more than that.
You're like,
it's probably close to 10.
Yeah, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. But it's still really expensive. Things leaving California, except which is weird, like transporting a vehicle.
Yeah,
it's like really cheap if you want to put it on a truck.
Yeah,
that's already going to somewhere. it's like $1,000, which
That's not much.
they used to be more expensive. It used to be like close to 15 or
Yeah, get
two.
the El Camino out there.
Yeah, I might just do that. That way it's out there.
That's the only thing you do in the week. You
Yeah.
do pack nothing else. You just get the biggest, like your car. Just like, yeah, get it out. to
Get it
Texas.
out of here. But I don't. Yeah, there's nowhere for it to go right now. So,
Just park it in your uncle's lawn.
yeah, I think they'd be a little pissed off. I already have 2 vehicles there.
Yeah.
A third one,
Take
and
another
then
one.
like someone else has their truck. They have like a big ass like diesel truck just parked there too.
Yeah.
So my truck too, or my
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah. The El
But,
Camino. But yeah, no, it's a lot. I would assume it's a lot of work. Like I said, I went there a couple weeks ago just to drop off some stuff and look for a pedal. I'm like, boy, you got a lot of work ahead of you. But
I haven't even looked in the garage yet because I got here last night.
yeah,
And this morning I'm like, I'm not even thinking about it today.
Yeah.
Watch a fucking movie.
watch a fucking movie.
Watch some YouTube, skip around, watch a documentary.
And then we're going to fucking
then
get some fucking pints.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
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 I could dig it. But yeah, the week is young.
Yeah, we'll see. So I'm here for like I don't know, like a week and a half almost.
Yeah.
So
that's the main reason. But yeah, it's good to see you.
that's my what's new, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't really have a whole lot.
Yeah, I think because we're recording this one so close to like a previous episode that we've done,
Yeah.
I've done nothing except for I've worked.
Yeah.
Watched anime on Netflix.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Edited the
Getting it.
podcast
There you go.
on time. It's been on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 200. I'm thinking, and like, because we still have a few to do until 200, but I'm like, it will be episode 200. That means I have recorded 200 episodes of the podcast. I have released 200 of them.
Yeah.
And that was just like texting with Will Lahue, because while you're here, we're gonna do a couple. Like, this is already going back. Like, I'm gonna have a couple guests fill in just so that you can kind of focus on actually doing work that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, that'll be 200 episodes that I've done, and then plus all like the Patreons that we've done. I'm like, that's probably closer to like almost like definitely over 300, probably closer to 400 episodes.
Yeah, that's
recorded. And
So thank you, Brian. You did a great job.
no, I was just thinking, I'm like, that's cool, and I was just like, that is so much. It's like it's
Yeah.
been 4 years since we started it, which will be probably a topic that we hit up later. But I was like, oh, that's cool.
Every milestone we do
Yeah.
Oh, it's 4 years. Oh,
Yeah,
it's 6,900.
yeah. I think I've done a couple of those Facebook ones. I'm like, oh shit, we started it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was editing it and stuff like that. It's like, oh yeah, every time I just do it, I just kind of forget. But I'm like, that's like almost 400 times I've done just sitting. And I think it's cool because I feel like I'm actually getting better at like my DAW and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and I still have so much to learn from that damn thing, and especially how fucking expensive Pro Tools is. Which I bought the perpetual license for Pro Tools
What's that mean?
2020, so it means I own it.
Oh, okay.
But if I want to upgrade to the 21 or whatever new Pro Tools, I gotta forfeit my license and go with their subscription plan.
What?
So fucking Avid.
Dang.
But I could just get by without the upgrades. Anyway,
That's what you think.
yeah, until something happens or whatever. But I'm like, man, this fucking
Yeah.
fucking
If you a new laptop and then
yeah. Who knows? But let's see. What's new? I guess I haven't done much. I guess I have been having a just a I don't know, a project of mine where I have like, I think I kind of mentioned it on passing or whatever on maybe Patreon or whatever. But I'm like, I have like 4 junk drawers. Do you have just drawers that you're just like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just
I'm like,
shit collects.
oh, and I've been like condensing, and like even last year when I wasn't working for a couple months, I was like, consolidating, getting rid of blah, 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 tons of stuff. But I still had junk drawers. I have like a dresser that you gave me. That's like, that was the one of them was completely just stuff.
Just random.
And those
shit.
are big. Those
Yeah.
are pretty like, I don't know, like big ass drawers, pretty deep.
They're like 2.5 feet.
Yeah, and they're
Wide, at
deep.
least.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is my stuff drawer. And I'm like, almost just like if I'm like, whatever. It's like there's tools in there. There's fucking, I don't know, stationery. There's fucking
Batteries.
Random, yeah. Yes.
Used batteries.
No, new batteries. There's fucking sandpaper in there. There's fucking like stickers. There's tacks.
When I was a kid, like your brothers and sister would just throw like the used batteries in the battery drawer. At least for me.
That sucks so much.
You would put the stuff like new batteries in the remote, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Or you put them in your Game Boy. But you're like, the Game Boy screen comes up. Boom.
Yeah,
it just flat lines or whatever.
So it's like people, your parents thought there were batteries left over. They're dead, so they didn't buy any. You're screwed. Got nothing for the remote
or for the fucking was it the fire alarm or whatever, smoke detector.
Hey, you take it out and you throw that one in there. We don't have any 9 volts. Oh, I saw some in there.
Yeah. You put that in there, your whole family just dies.
It's one of the batteries that no one ever like stocks up on.
9 volts?
9 volts. Man.
Now, I mean, because I have pedals, I have I have.
Well, I mean, as a kid, I remember that being one that's like, oh, this toy requires a 9-volt battery. All right. What the hell?
Yeah, I think I have a few of the lithium 9 volts.
Those are awesome.
And they've lasted a while, but I kind of just keep like one always in my TU2.
Yeah.
Just so I can always just like plug in and tune if I need to.
Yeah.
And then kind of chuck that bitch back in the fucking closet.
Get out
because it's like built like a rock. It's like boom.
It's like dent the drywall.
Just for no reason. But yeah, so I've been making it a point to just go through just my junk drawers.
Why are there ketchup packets in here?
Yeah, I'm like things that I've been just holding on to. You ever now that kind of goes with you. It's like you're gonna find it in a couple of days. It's like you're holding on to things. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why have I been holding on to this?
Well, and like I'm doing a fresh start. Like, why do I want to keep any of this?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what my mindset is gonna be.
You gotta do that Netflix, the Marie Kondo or whatever.
Yeah.
Does this bring me joy?
Does this old paint bucket bring me joy?
Dried paint in a bucket.
I have to think about that one. No, I have like so many chemicals and stuff I need to go through.
Yeah.
I have like, because I worked at a hardware store.
You gotta huff it all.
Yeah. This is gonna take a while.
Open your eyes really wide.
This might
kill me. Try and get it in every way possible.
So I used to work at a hardware store. Whenever they were throwing away or like getting rid of stuff, I was like, "Oh shit, that's still a good can of paint.
Mm-hmm.
I could paint my garage with that."
Yeah, I don't
want to haul that.
I was definitely like that with my work. I work at like kind of a housewares furniture store, and we would go through things and just like,
this is a perfectly good chair leg.
Yeah,
it's a little cracked.
Yeah. Or we'd have display pieces that I would use as like furniture, or like, oh, I'll hold on to that because I could use that. I could do that. I could think of something for that. I'm like, and it would be like random things, and I was like always like looking. I'm like, oh, I could take that, and I would like take them because it's like I hate the idea of things going in a landfill.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how like bigger companies or whatever, they'll
just throw stuff.
Yeah,
away.
They'll pay for things and use them, and then they don't care anymore because it's already the next year.
Yeah,
toss it, get rid of it because it's already been done and expended.
It's a little scratched up.
Yeah, or
they don't want to fix it.
The expense is already done, so whatever, we don't care, get rid of it. And then I would always think like, oh, I could use that for something. I could use that for this, and I had this like little box that I would use as like just like a side table, or even like I think it's out of frame, but I'm like, like I could have a like drink stand or whatever.
It was like a cajon, right?
Yeah, it was like almost like that. And
then made a cajon out of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, and it actually served its purpose for a couple of years, but I'm like, it was garbage. And then I think even the chair that you're sitting on right now, that one's a good one. Good buy. And by buy I mean like it was, I got it out of the garbage.
Yeah,
they were just like, as a company
we got new chairs.
We bought too many chairs. Get rid of them. And so they were just going to throw it away.
Dang.
And then my old fan that I've talked about that bit me. I think I still have that's a scar now.
Dang.
It was for my work, and they were throwing it away, and I just kept on getting more and more crap, and I'm like, they're throwing it away. I'll take it. I'm like,
I was totally doing that.
And it wasn't even like chemicals or anything. It was just like stuff. And I'm like, I just need to get, and so I started getting it gone, throwing it away, or replacing it with like actual furniture that's nicer looking. And then, no regrets there. And then, like we're doing it like at my work, more purges of things and stuff like that. And I'm like, ooh, I should look. I'm like, why am I looking through that? And it is unfortunate that it's going to trash, but I'm like, fucking get rid of it. Throw it away. And they were doing like a thing where it's like display bedding and, you know, whatever that they were just kind of tossing because it was like been around for years. And people were like, oh, we're taking it. I'm like, oh, I should get it. I'm like, no, I just threw away a bunch of pillows. I don't even need it. Like,
yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, I need pillows for what?
For your opium den?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I start turning the jerk lounge into just like pillows all over the place, and we just sit there and just
get a hookah. And
yeah. And I'm like, just it's a pleasure dome.
Yeah.
And it's like, I already got the fucking like, colored lights and everything going on. Just need to fucking get some fucking just bong rips.
Well, like I have probably like 80 or 90 spray paint cans.
Yeah,
I have a shitload, and I want to keep some of them, but I think most of them I'm just getting rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I have chemicals, like I said.
What do you do with that? You have to like take it somewhere to get.
Yeah, you have to take it to like a disposer. I don't know.
Mm.
We're close to an ocean, right?
Just poof, just chuck it
on there. I got so much stuff.
Yeah.
Get rid of the motorcycle. I have a bunch of car parts. Some be taking stuff to like the scrap yard. Hopefully I can get someone that'll buy 5 KZ1000s.
Yeah.
You know,
in pieces, of course.
Yeah, of course. 5 projects.
Ran when parked.
Yeah, bullshit. They look at it. They look back at me like fucking liar.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of not really in the same boat. I think I'm just like LARPing as like you or Brian just moved. Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I just got to get rid of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
You don't have very much stuff though. What else are you gonna start? What are you gonna start doing? Ripping the copper out of the walls?
Yeah. And the pipes. Yeah. But no, I mean, like I'm all about, you know, the minimalism. As far this is like I watched the documentary, so I'm like, oh, I like it. No, this is
I know everything there is to know.
Basically, just like
I'm a fucking expert now.
I Kirby something new every other month or every couple months. I'm like,
you just turn into something else.
Yeah, and I'm like, I like the idea of minimalism. It's not really like having nothing. It's just having, you know, things that you do enjoy.
Yeah,
and it's like, and I look at guitars and like one of the ones that's just straight ahead of us. I'm like that Jazzmaster. I'm like constantly battling. I'm like, should I get rid of it?
Why?
But when I play it, I love it.
It just sits there.
But I'm not using it.
It looks great though.
But, you know.
You can't see it, but it looks great.
Yeah. And then, anyways, it's not on the chopping block today. But I'm just like.
Tomorrow?
Who knows? But I just, going through my drawers. So I went through one. And I not accidentally, that's totally not what I meant to say. I actually am using, because I cleared out at the same time, I have a toolbox.
Yeah.
And I actually, organized it. And I could fit almost that whole junk drawer of things that I was keeping to like potentially use or use parts for racks or for guitars or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually organized it and put it in the toolbox so I can actually go through it and find stuff that I need.
Nice.
So that junk drawer is empty. And I'm like, that's a win. That was for me. And that's such a boring what's new. But I don't know. Sometimes you find
though, tackle box.
Yeah.
Pop that bitch open. You got all your individual parts.
Uh-huh.
I got one, by the way, for fishing.
Yeah. So,
for tackle.
Yeah. And I was even going through my, my junk drawer. Again, can't see it. But so I hung up a blanket on my ceiling kind of to help with reflections. I don't know if it does anything.
You tell us.
Yeah. So far, I like to think it does. But I hung it up with a clear fishing line.
Yeah. Wow.
And you could only buy it in like 3,000 yards.
Yeah.
And it was like $3 or something on Amazon. It was like holds like, I think like 60 pounds or something like that. Anyway, so I had it and I used it, and it's actually, that's all I needed. It was like barely any of it.
Yeah.
So I've had a roll of it. And I'm like, I just felt so bad about throwing it away until I remembered my sister's boyfriend fishes. So I'm like, oh, do you want this? He's like, I'll totally use it. It's like, why did you have this? So I told him about it.
Long
He's like,
story.
yeah, I told him about it. He's like, oh, that's cool. It's like, I work at a fishing shop. I could have just gave you some.
Nice.
I'm like, you know what? I spent $3. It's fine.
I'll just take this back then.
Yeah.
It's like you gave it to me.
Give it fucking back on throw the garbage.
See, I got my fishing line I put on my reel, my rod and reel.
Mhm.
It's a braided line.
Okay.
And it's like camouflage. Green.
So the fish can't see
That's
it.
that's what they picked out for me at Cabela's.
You just wanted the tactical one, just whatever went with your New Balances.
Yeah, I just told him where I was fishing. He's like, oh, you'll go with this one then. It's like the moss green color.
Mhm.
So it's like,
You been fishing?
yeah, I've been fishing.
Yeah, you get
Didn't catch anything.
okay.
So I was, if I caught everything every time, it would be called catching. Okay, it's just called fishing. Like,
You doing a fish
it's about smarting that fish.
It's a fish and release. When I did catch them, I would release them.
Yeah.
If I did, I would. But I didn't. So they were all released that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
but
get out there with fucking some chaw, some fucking natural lights, and just
Oh man, should have. I heard Doritos. Sprinkle some spicy nacho Doritos.
the fish love it. They go crazy.
You know what? Actually, the turtles love it too. So you get turtles coming up.
Mhm.
I had a turtle almost bite one of the bait lines I had. I was like reeling it, and the motherfucker was like swimming so fast. I'm like, oh shit. Got it out of the water.
You were pretty fucking fast.
I know. Where the fuck did that come from?
in the water,
Dude,
they're just like fucking.
It was like a spinning reel. So it was like a lure. So just like the faster you
Yeah.
crank it, the more it's like, it just like rotates.
That
And he
thing's
was
like,
just like,
the thing's
he
like,
was
I
going for
I
it.
want to die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just take it out of its mouth, but you want to hook it,
They're like,
They will.
But no,
Yeah.
but they have no idea that they just think I'm like, I'm gonna die. I can't wait.
Yeah. Dang. You want to eat some trash and get fucking
Just I can't
Bite
wait
on
to
a
eat some
hook.
fucking straws. You put a straw at the end of the hook, and then all the turtles are like, ah! All the turtles are like,
straw.
Yeah.
One straw. You just clip the end of your Sonic
you put like
Chick-fil-A straw.
the McDonald's orange and yellow straw at the end, and then every fucking turtle just fucking comes out.
Yeah, one's
in droves.
Yeah, one's on the bank dropping in.
Yeah. It's time for us to die.
So yeah, I went fishing out in I don't know if I went by myself the other
Solo dolo?
day. Yeah.
Dang.
Couldn't find no one want to go fishing down the fishing hole with me.
Yeah.
So I drove out to
Can't
Blanco.
roller skate in a bubble.
Blanco County.
Okay.
They have a state park out
Boo County.
there. Yeah, Blanco. Dude, so I go, I mean, this is,
Yeah.
it's good. I think it's good.
But it's Blanco.
Yeah.
But they call it Blanco.
But they call it Blanco because it's fucking Texas.
Yeah.
So I go there. Usually when you enter one of those parks, they have someone like an attendant. You just swipe your card, like a credit card, and it takes off with the $5, whatever. I read the sign. There's no one in the office. They have like an envelope you're supposed to drop a $5 bill into.
Honor system.
Yes. But then you take a receipt off of it and you tag your window. So it's not completely.
Okay.
It's like carbon copy paper. You write down your information.
Jesus
your license
Christ,
plate,
that's a lot of fucking
drop
work.
it in.
That's a even better excuse than saying was it the Bill Burr excuse of like, I was like, oh, at Target, I didn't know I was a fucking employee today.
Yeah, to bag your own shit.
And so a good way to, I think it was, maybe it was a,
no, I might as well pay myself the $5.
Yeah, a Matt and Shane bit where it's like, he's like, oh yeah, if you could just steal from, fucking Target, just for like, oh man, I didn't know. I thought I scanned it. I was never trained on this machine.
Yeah. I must have missed my training.
Yeah, I
orientation.
I missed training day on how to do this.
So
you just do that. Like, I didn't know the training. I didn't know how to fill out the form, a triplicate.
You couldn't there was no online program you could pay online or whatever. So you had to pay cash only or check.
I just responded into my White Claw, like,
It echoes in your
yeah, it
camera.
echoed into that video. Somebody could watch it. Just me, more.
You should throw some reverb on that now.
Yeah, the mic couldn't catch it. It was just going because like the mic was yeah, it was like
all right.
across from the.
We'll keep it.
Getting back to video. Oh my god, damn! I forget that there's a camera here, which is the nice Sigma lens.
So
I'm like, I think it's gonna look better. No, then I'm like, I know how to actually use the camera a little bit.
Hopefully.
Actually, who knows? Actually, I say that. Shut up. I'm gonna cut that out. It's probably gonna look
What if
shittier.
I get it like right here? And now,
It should
now
focus.
I'm talking to
should
you.
see it focused on your face. It focused on mine. If you take the mic off your face,
I got a beard still. Who cares? This
yeah,
is not.
it's probably
interesting.
focusing on Kramer. Kramer.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The Kramer.
Probably cut that.
No, fucking leave it in.
Okay.
It's 200, baby. We're partying.
All right. So
We're drinking White Claws. You got your Miller Lights. Kyle's getting drunk for his
I
first
know
time in a while.
I've had 3 already. 3 alcoholic beverages. So at the kiosk, the thing is you pull the envelope, write down, drop your $5 in. I pull out my money. I had fucking $4.
Oh yeah,
Should have just dropped it and fucking ran.
yeah.
But I'm like, all right, I'll go get cash.
No.
I know. Hold on.
How do you wait? So you're filling out the thing in an envelope and you're putting it in there, and then you take your receipt.
You peel it off of the front of the envelope and you stick it on your.
No.
Brian, this is the honor system.
No, fuck that.
This is my word. You know how good am I without my word?
Oh, I got a few words for them.
So I go.
You put them on the phone, Kyle. You take me to the principal's office. I'm gonna talk for you. $4 is good enough. It's fucking $4, and you put it in there. I'm like, oh, I thought I counted 5. I mean, we'll have a bill.
I think I had quarters too. I probably should have filled the rest of it.
Yeah. Oh, I would have done that too.
Yeah.
I had I'm side story on side story. I'm cutting in here, McFly. A dude was at a parking lot. I was going to my chiropractor. You know, get my weekly crack going on there. Yeah, get my crack fix over there. Dr. Steve, what up? Shout out, what up? So I am leaving my truck and I'm listening to my stories. I got my cum podcast going on. And then guy, I mean, it's probably homeless, I'm assuming. And he's like, hey, man, do you have any change? You go right next to McDonald's. I'm like, just want to get some food at McDonald's. I'm like, I'm like, do you have any change? I'm like, I have literal change if you want it. And he looked at me like, okay. And so I'm like, okay, hold out your hands. And I had dumped
you have that 5-gallon, you put all your money in the clear water jugs.
And I was just I'm probably shaking out a bunch of I'm like, there's quarters in there too, but it's and I just gave him that. I'm like, I'm like, you know what? I have $1 too. And I just gave it to him. He looked at me like, you just gave me a fucking burden.
Yeah.
But he was kind of stoked, but also kind of
guy's looking down
he's like, this guy's a fucking dickhead.
You gave him 8 pounds of change. He's like, I gotta walk with this now.
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, if you counted it out and rolled it, you could probably get yourself a 40 and a fucking Borgar.
You gotta take it to the bank though if you want to cash that in.
Well, because he asked me for change. I'm like, I do actually, and so I just gave him all the change in my truck, which was kind of full. And so I'm like, I just dumped it in his hands. He's like, what the
I bet that helped out your fuel economy too. Getting rid of all that.
Yeah, totally. Getting rid of the fucking those cans, the bottles, and the fucking change I had in there. And then just fucking adding 10 pounds to my ass over the past year. We were fucking looking good. But no, he was thanking me, but he also kind of looked like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? I'm like, you asked for change. You asked for change.
I could have just stabbed the guy.
Yeah. Because I'm like, just give me that fucking bike.
You still give him 8 pounds of change,
and I just dump, clean yourself up. I don't mess with broke.
So, all right. So I went to get cash.
I would have fucked off.
Yeah. Well,
that would have been a
difference
thing
between you and me.
That would have been a thing for me. I'm like, we're day drinking.
Yeah. And it was $5 per adult. It's not $5 per car. That was just me. Anyways, doesn't matter.
This is.
I know.
I'm not even that
Paying to maintain this park.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Well, they better be a goddamn beautiful park.
it was pretty nice.
Well,
River going through it, campsites and everything.
I'm sure they did that.
Yeah. It wasn't gravity doing that.
You just like pay a tip to God. Thanks. Excellent work there.
So I go to 7-Eleven down the street. I get cash, come back. I go drop in the envelope. No pens to sign on this fucking thing.
Fuck.
So I was like, all right, I got one in my car. I'm looking.
It's all on you to do.
I'm fucking.
You're doing
I
the
know.
work. They should fucking.
I know.
They make you.
I should get a
honorary
government salary
park ranger
for a day.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would get fucking power hungry. I get drunk off of that stuff.
Like, listen to you, piece of shit. Fucking
Yelling at kids.
You find kids to yell at. You playing hopscotch? Get on fucking my part, not on my beat.
Walking around.
You just and then you get drunk on power and literally drunk like you're just like Leahy.
Regular drunk and drunk on power.
And I could be your Bo Bandy.
Shit wolves.
I'll be Bo Bandy for you.
Shit ox.
I just show up with just no shirt on.
So no fucking pens. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna go into the park.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna go in. So
you did all the work.
I drive in. I'm like,
the reward.
Yeah. So I'm
To
like,
the victor go the spoil.
I'm gonna look around for a spot to fish first. So drive in, turn left to go to underneath this highway. Because it was right off the highway.
Yeah.
So go under there, drive, through they have all these like picnic areas and swim spots, and the turnaround, state trooper right there.
Woo!
I'm like, all right, well, it's not like I'm doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
He saw I had my envelope on the dashboard still.
Oh yeah.
I'd place it there.
Good.
So I like drove around, turned around, and I'm like, all right, I'm still looking for places.
He's in the Vic.
Yeah, I was in the Vic. So he's like, he did like Sosa, like he did like.
Then don't you do the thumbs up out the window?
No, I don't.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do if you like see a Jeep person riding a Jeep?
Oh yeah, you do like shaka, dude.
Well, I used to do that when you had your El Camino.
Yeah,
you would see the other person.
I just
be
wave.
Like, thumb up.
I would whatever, just wave to him. So I've been spotted now. So I look for a spot. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna. I was planning like if there's nowhere to fish, I'm just gonna drive out. I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I never paid, so I'm just gonna leave. And then I'm like, oh, this is a really cool spot over here.
How do you know
and
it's a good spot?
Oh, it's just there was no one there.
All the fish are like, hey, we're just ready to be.
I'm fucking hungry.
There's like, there's like, you just see, it's like they're fucking
like human teeth.
They're like,
water.
yeah,
like wolf fangs.
It's like they're just like the water's just bubbling because they're all just fucking
boiling.
It's like the activity of them all just flapping around, like, please kill us. And kind of like, I have a hunch that
Gladly.
I'm thinking that might be a good spot.
I'm thinking they might be biting today.
It's real quiet shit.
So I'm like, all right, I'm going to fish here. And I'm like, okay, well, he knows I'm in the park now. So if he comes back over, let's say he just starts driving around and he sees me, he might ask me where my tag is. So I'm like, how my fishing license?
Rods you got there, pal? Where's your fucking money? He pulls out a gun.
Seems like you spend around $100 on that rig there. You don't have enough money to drop in the old
the bucket,
the donation bucket. Pass it around.
It wasn't suggested, by the way.
Somehow he has like a Cockney accent.
Oh, it's good.
It wasn't a suggestion.
In Texas.
Yeah. Oh, mate, what you got there?
It's my fine right you got there.
You decided you'd go fishing today.
You think the trout are biting today?
So I'm like, fuck. I looked for a pen, so I parked there. And I looked for a pen. I'm like, I'll just sign. I'll drive back and drop it in.
I was gonna sign in blood. Fuck it.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm like, how else am I gonna fucking do this? I could do a rock. I could just because it's carbon copy. I was thinking just scratch through it. That probably would have worked. But I'm like, fuck. I'm looking for a pen. I'm like, fuck it. I go back. So I drive all the way back to where the cop was.
Yeah.
And I ask him for a pen. sign it.
I knew you were already fucking priming that
Yeah,
motherfucking thing
you're
to
going,
write me a note.
Just clicking it.
It's like how they practice like spinning or whatever.
Their gun.
The gun.
Yeah, like, what you're saying? Yeah, that's what all cops
They
do.
don't do that. It's like a TV. It's like TJ Hooker or something like that. And then he's like, or you
Like, was he the Sundance Kid over here?
yeah. They don't do that at all. It's like, are you watching fucking cartoons, you moron?
Yeah. It's
And
like,
he's just like
it's
ready
a
with the
great way to
pens, it's like the best way we can like get revenue to the fucking stage is writing tickets.
yeah. I mean,
He just smashes you. You're like, oh, looks like you got some taillights out.
he smash it with the butt of his gun.
Yeah. He shoots it because
Looks like we have an officer involved shooting. Yeah. We don't want the boys spinning up and heading down here, do we?
says you would comply that your taillight's broken. You shoot your car. Or he shoots it and the gas tank, like a movie, blows up. It's like, got a couple taillights out here.
Ain't that a bitch?
It's going to be a $400 fee.
Yeah, I see you leaking radiator fluid out into the river. That's another.
I could ignore that.
Biohazard.
For a little stipend. It's like, how much money do you
I only
want?
pull 20.
It's like, I noticed you have a Hostess donuts on the front seat there. It's even more
They're
like
old.
a movie.
They're from this morning. They're stale.
Yeah, I ain't saying no, pal.
I ain't turning you away.
Can't threaten me with a good time.
So, anyways, I sign it, and he's like, "They ran out of golf pencils." I'm like, "Yeah, there's nothing over there. Is that all you guys do out here?"
It's like, I guess like my
the one job.
my job is the on this beat is just to like fill Ticonderogas.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
He's the one. You can buy them already pre-made. He's like cutting them and sharpening them individually, cutting the erasers off.
Yeah. So, or he gets regular number 2 Ticonderogas, chops them in half so that he's like, oh, you get more use out of that if you have. Yeah.
We're running real lean around here. Yeah. So
budget cuts, pal.
So, anyways, I was legal. All
yeah,
right, I was legal, and so I was fishing for a bit, but I didn't catch anything. I had one fish, like I can see he fucking zoomed out of nowhere.
Caught some heat though.
Yeah. So
the boys in blue over there.
Yeah, but he saw me pay.
Yeah.
So, but it worked out. Yeah. Once I saw, oh, there's a car at the end of this turnaround. I'm like, oh fuck, it's the fuzz.
So you just do a spin.
I start hauling ass towards him.
I need some cover fire. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing the same. He's just going in a circle. It's like bah, 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 bah. Yeah.
Dukes of Hazzard stuff.
Yeah.
Breaker, we got another one.
Holy shit.
We got a live one. I'm gonna have to see some ID.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was my last time I went fishing.
Yeah.
Which was just last Thursday.
Yeah.
Or 2 Thursdays ago.
We're just riffing here. This is 200. We're just riffing. We're like 45 minutes in. We like almost our what's news, which neither one of us had anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost
we found something, I guess.
Yeah. It's just Riff City. That's what this it's all about. It's just getting drunk with your boys. Hanging out, talking into mics. Okay, so let's do some topics. So I'm like long what's new. So let's just like jump into some topics. Okay, so we kind of did a call out on Facebook and Instagram, and we only really got one.
That was a good one, right?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think because of like just timing wise or whatever. I'm like, oh, anybody have any suggestions or
no?
That's
fine.
And I'm like, I put it on an Instagram story. I'm like, oh, like. Everybody's just like, no, you guys are good.
Sink or swim, bitch.
Exactly. It's your show. You should fucking do the work.
Prepare better.
And I'm like, shit.
Be better.
They are right. And it's episode 200. I kind of like how it's just our normal episode.
Yeah.
But Andrew Walsh.
Shout out.
We did have a couple more. I mean, Michael Cartwright. He was like, oh, do a quiz episode. That takes a lot more prep. So future
you
one.
can ask me one question, and that technically would be a quiz.
Yeah.
All or nothing for all the extra credit points.
What's new?
Oh shit! Over 45 minutes.
Yeah. you throw everything at like the
In
whole
the microphone?
the kitchen sink and everything. And then Matthew Fenslaw was like jokingly talk about true bypass and bypass whatever. And then I guess with that, I never even noticed.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter when you have a fuzz or something.
I think so.
So
That's it.
we talked about it, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't noticed.
I'm sure there's people that know a lot more than us. So
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Matthew.
Yeah, listen to like Wampler. I think they talk about it.
an actual builder.
Yeah, Brian Wampler as.
I think it's for the signal. Oh.
That's you and I. Just like we have no idea. We're just like.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, it's the Charlie Brown.
Yeah, just turn us down when we talk about circuits.
Just like starts just like. But Andrew Walsh had one. It's like maybe you can reflect on why you started the PCast.
Hell yeah.
And how your goals have changed since then. So, I think it's still up, so you can go find it. It's episode 1 of the podcast, and kind of you can hear like the first 2 episodes. So Kyle was it was Kyle and I, episode 1. Episode 2 was BJ and I, and then it went back to Kyle and I for episode 3, which has kind of been the format since. So initially, I wanted the podcast to be like an interview podcast where I interview just friends and random people and musicians
Off the street.
Yeah. Hey, you know.
Do you like rat gear or pedals?
Yeah. Just like a shitty
Banfret's lame?
question mark?
Yeah.
Shrug?
Thoughts?
Yeah. When oh my god, when people do that dumb shit in groups,
They
it's
post like a
here's
big ass
something-
article. The
here's
headline's like misconstrued, and it's like thoughts.
question mark? I'm adding to the group. Not at all.
Yeah,
I'm important.
I can copy and paste a fucking article from Hard Times. And
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was initially the first episode was like, and the second. So BJ and
Yeah.
you were just interviews, me interviewing you guys, and you could hear how awkward and silent and nervous and
Yeah.
meek we were on mic, and just we weren't as natural as we are now. Because I think from episode 3 on, it started to develop more of just us, a conversation between you and I.
Yeah.
It started turning quickly out of an interview just to let's just have a conversation.
Yeah.
And then when
I'm
we
thinking back, like what my conversation would be, what it was.
Mhm. You can listen. It was just me like talking about how you started playing music,
Yeah.
and what your gear was, and da da da. And then when our first kind of guests were a little bit more you and I interviewing them, and then once we got even up to like probably 20 or something when we had Steve on.
Yeah.
The only time we had Steve on.
Yeah.
We keep saying like, oh, you gotta get on. And, like it's been probably 180 episodes. He hasn't been on again. But the first one was like interviewing him. It was less topic conversation driven.
Yeah.
And then we kind of have just moved the podcast just being mainly conversation driven, kind of like how it just was, us just riffing and talking, and then catching up, and just like more. It's just natural, and then maybe a topic that we kind of just yet again riff on and talk about. And so the podcast has completely changed from what it started.
Yeah.
But it's been you and I.
And it's all even there's been little evolutions too. Like we did a while we were doing video,
Mhm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
it moved.
Yeah.
And so even that little dynamic changed, but we've been keeping it pretty
Yeah.
much solid.
Yeah, and then with the video podcast, I think that was always like an initial, like, I think just in my own head of production, like a big hurdle to do.
Yeah.
And it's actually really easy when we're in the same room. And then the next hurdle is going to be like when you move into your place
Yeah.
and how to do that. And I don't think it's going to be very difficult.
And then when you move across the street from me,
Yeah,
it'll be
when I
sick.
just move into the Ricky style. I'm just going to be in a car in your driveway. But yeah, we've added more things and started doing the YouTube thing, adding that to the brand or whatever. That was one thing, especially, and I've said it before. I never wanted to get into videography, photography, any of that shit. And
It's lame. It's for losers and 6 cycle hump.
no, not that. It's just I think I've always heard that it was tough work and it's a lot of things to do. And I've heard from guitar nerds, they mentioned it on their podcast. And they never said like, "Hey, Brian, this was hard." Like they never said to me,
Brian, bring it in real close. I got some advice, some life
like
advice.
all like the cool teacher. You gotta spin your chair around. It's hard. It was hard for them to do the video podcast. They were doing it for a while, and then they kind of just like, this is not worth it or whatever. And then the Gear Slum, they were trying to do videos. And it was like hearing Cole Duke talk about how he filmed so much shit at one of the NAMMs. And he's like, I didn't want to do anything with it.
Yeah.
They did not release a damn thing. And I saw Cole Duke with a camcorder. Everything. And they were doing like, they had the Zoom where you can plug the XLR mic into the back of the camera and it's everything already mixed and done for you. And they still didn't release anything.
Sorry,
because it's hard to do. You got to take the extra time to do it. And if you're like, for them, mentioning it, it's like maybe the juice ain't worth the squeeze on that. If you're just trying to, whatever you're doing it for, if you're trying to do it to expand your channel, you're actually grinding to do that. It's it can be worth it. And I think I'm finding just something with doing videos in the YouTube videos, not the video podcast, but it's another thing that I can just nerd out on that I really like. It's like creating the videos, and like I said, I'm like, oh, I like the depth of field, and then like how it focuses, and like and like we're playing with the camera. But I'm like, I like that, and I'm like learning about the different like focal lengths and apertures, and how wide and open your lens can be, and how it's been fun. It's another thing like with gear. I'm like, can you just play like a fucking, classic series Squire and be done? Yeah. Or you can get into all the other shit.
Oh yeah.
And same thing with cameras and stuff like that. So that's a big thing with me. I never thought, one, we would be doing the podcast like we are now, where you and I are just hosting it, and just, it's not even hosting. It's like us talking.
Just chatting it up.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely like moved. I think some of the first podcasts I would listen to were like interview ones.
Yeah.
So like, oh, that's what a podcast should be.
Yeah.
No, it can be just people talking.
Whatever the fuck you want.
Mm-hmm. And so I would.
We do an interview. We still kind of do an interview a little bit when we introduce someone, just to kind of get a brief.
And so that's what we've changed the podcast to, which I think it's awesome how we do it now. I'm like, if you want to come on and be interviewed, no.
Yeah.
No.
We'll get up to speed on something that you're working on, or sometimes. You know.
It's like enough. We give them like,
if they've been on a podcast that's in the same genre,
go listen to that.
Go listen.
And like, because I don't interview, and we've pushed it, like, I think probably, I don't know, from episode 30 or 40 onward, if we ever had a guest, it's like, we don't interview you.
Go listen to Tone Mob.
Yeah. Oh, and then we're going to give you maybe like 5-10 minutes backstory at the most, and then we're going to hit topics. And I like that. Dude,
that's Blake's thing,
Yeah.
He's pizza and interviews. So.
Yeah. Or, even just like the interview type podcast of what, he doesn't really do it, but like Rogan, he'll kind of do like the grilling of like guests or whatever. But I think of like when people think of a podcast, they're like, oh, you're interviewing somebody. I'm like, not really. Yeah. Because they think of it like Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. And then, or like, even Jocko or somebody would have somebody on and kind of like throw them like.
I've never heard an interview from him before.
Yeah, he's had guests on and stuff like that before.
I usually avoid those ones, I guess.
So I like what we do. I like what we're doing, and if we have a guest on or a guest host, like say if you're out, I have somebody else on, we kind of just try and fill that same thing. Yeah. It's like, hey, catch up on what you're doing. Do the plugs of what you want to plug or whatever, and then we're just gonna hit topics. And that's what I always tell with guests who want to come onto the show.
You got some big shoes to fill, but get a beer, talk about guns.
Yeah.
And hanging out with your brother, and your sister maybe if you want to.
Yeah. Talk about cats. Talk about
Yeah,
deers
exactly.
if you feel like it.
Double tap it some
Yeah.
fucking deer. Deers. It's deer, by the way.
Yeah.
I said it.
It's I like it. The podcast is becoming a thing where it's like it's not hard to do as far as like production wise. It's not hard to do as far as like content wise. And I mean, I'm sure there could be more that could be added to both, but I'm like I don't know. It's become a lot easier to do. And
Yeah.
I'm keep talking, but I'm talking more about, I think I've mentioned it before, maybe.
Would you stop talking on your podcast, please?
I know. On
Jeez.
the maybe Patreon or on this episode, but I feel like the way I converse and in just real IRL life, I'm like, it's just more natural.
Yeah.
You become more of an active listener and you're talking and you
Not
want
me.
just steamroll right through it. When's my turn
Yeah.
to talk?
So anyways, the Dark Tower series
Anyway, so this fucking gun,
shoots really fast.
it's like a football when it throws the bullet.
Damn it.
So and it's dumb, but I think just from doing it so much, and me listening, because I have to edit it.
Yeah.
I edit in like real time, so I don't fast forward, just cut out like.
Not in QuickTime?
Nope, do it in slow time. Slow time. So, and I'm hearing affects in my voice, stuff like that I do want to change. I do notice like some like mumbling and slurs that I think I've like, and not those
Slurs.
I'm not.
Jeez.
I ain't changing those. We got the bad boy podcast, and you gotta
Yeah.
fucking just like caution tape over my mouth. Oh, that's the next promo. We both just have caution tape, like an edgy and like comedy podcast.
I'm all the way in the back of the jerk lounge.
Yeah. So it, just like, just I think I've gotten better. Like today, I'm like, oh, we're more drunk. So, hey, it's 200.
Hey,
200 to go back. Get the fuck out of here. But I'm like, right then, what I said. But I'm like, and I'm like, and like, I know I do that all the time. And I don't know if it's just on a podcast because I only listen to it because I have recorded audio clear of my voice.
Yeah.
I do it all the time on the podcast, and I leave it, and I don't know if people have called me out on it, but that's one thing that
Fence Law now is going to go and clip every time you say like,
and I'm like, and I'm like,
oh,
and
you're
I'm like,
breathing.
and I'm like,
yeah, and
mhm. I
No.
think my ums aren't as bad as my and I'm likes,
It's fine.
and
You're working on it.
not really. I just notice it.
Well, it's tormenting you.
Yeah.
So
It's only in the aftermath. It's
see
like
what you did.
it's like-
Andrew, you're killing this man right
no,
here.
it's like like you just get blacked out. You start thinking of all like the drunk texts you sent or just yelling at people or whatever. It's
Like the social interactions where you've been super awkward. You're like,
and then
God.
the next morning you're like, you just like your blackout text like, you fucking doubted me, you piece of shit. My downfall. You're gonna be there, but you won't be there for my rising. And I'm like, what?
I'm a phoenix from the ashes.
What did I even say?
What did I drink?
I said
Fireball?
I said that to my mom. just I'm a phoenix from the ashes. You won't be there. You're the smoldering of the earth. And I'm like, oh. I said that to my babysitter from 13 years ago. No, 13 years ago. But anyways, like sometimes like I'll listen to the podcast. I'm like, how many times did I say I'm like? But
Yeah,
Matt McCusker says it all the time. So hey, whatever.
it's all good.
The McCuskey. So the podcast, yeah, I dig it where it's going, where it's currently at. Who knows where it's going next? I do the YouTube out of just a passion of project kind of
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, I want the videos to do better. I want the videos to look better.
Then do it.
And so I'm constantly
What are
doing
you
that.
waiting for?
Because I see some of these YouTubers that their videos are fucking killer. and they look so much better than some of like the like bigger ones. I love his videos to death, and he just seems like a really cool guy.
Mention him again.
Phil McKnight. His videos suck dick.
I didn't think you were gonna mention him.
They look terrible. And I'm like, are you filming that thing with...
They suck dick.
They look fucking terrible. They look so bad. I'm like, are you filming that with a fucking Tamagotchi or something? Jesus Christ.
The keychain?
Yeah. There's not even a camera on it.
You figure Tamagotchi? Fuck.
Because it looks like shit.
I had like a budget one. It wasn't even like an animal. It was like a dude that you like you made him work out, like lift weights,
and you just
like bodybuild one.
He
like,
just shits himself to death.
Pretty sure that's how he died.
Your dad gives you that. And it's like, Dad, what are you trying to do to me?
Yeah,
like,
go on.
Like,
wait, watch.
Yeah,
it's not even a good suggestion because it's a game of you working out.
No, it's like even just like, oh, here, raise this muscle man that you keep to yourself.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't even know what the name of it.
I want a hot guy on my phone.
He looks like Conan the Barbarian, you know?
This is to teach your son how to raise a hot man. I want a fucking hot boy on my phone.
My boy's giving that man everything he needs to get strong.
Mm-hmm. How to deal with a hot guy.
It's so strange.
And Kyle, you're like,
well,
oh,
I love him. He's my baby boy.
I can't kick a gift horse in the mouth. Whatever that expression is.
Can't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Fucking kick that thing.
And you can't lead him to water either. Or you can lead him to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
The gift horse, at least.
Anyways, the gift horse. Somebody should gift horse Phil McKnight a new camera.
I thought it was GIF horse.
Jif horse. Jif peanut butter horse. Peter Pan peanut butter horse. Anyways. Yeah.
We're getting silly here.
Yeah, that's fucking 200. We're getting drunk.
200 if you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, it's getting drunk here. What up? We need some more White Claws. But yeah, like I said, I'm like, his videos are, I like him as a personality. I'm assuming he's really cool, but Phil McKnight's videos suck. I even
Andrew
think
Masters
are great.
I thought you were gonna. That's the one I thought you were gonna mention.
I follow him on Instagram. He got a new lens. I'm like, ooh, baby, wait for new lens.
You're behind the tree in the yellow jet.
I can't wait for these new Monday studio tours.
Let's hear about that lens.
It is kind of like, this is where I get nerdy, where he talks about like, oh, I upgraded these things. He's like, if you donate to the channel, I actually do use that to improve things. Because he talked about like, people were bitching about like wobbly camera, because he's like, I'm doing it with like just handheld. So he bought a gimbal because people donated, and he was like, they look great. It looks like, cribs.
Oh yeah,
because it's all smooth. And then he's like, oh, people were talking about audio, so he's like, oh, when they donated more, I upgraded to like the lav mics, wireless, so people can talk, and I don't have to worry about room reflect. I'm like, that's cool. And I'm like, and then he's like, I just bought a new lens. I'm like, whoa, that's nerdy, but. Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun thing. I don't know. What about you? I've been just blabbing
for like how I've changed,
or like I don't know. From like when I first started to now, it's like, did you?
I have not changed at all. No, I haven't progressed.
Or the podcast has changed. I'm like, did you? I don't know, have you? I don't know. Really thought about it? Or we just kind of just go for it.
I mean, I don't.
This is new. What we're doing now is like banking it, because we're like, this is like a month in advance. This is like one thing I wish. This is what other podcasts do. It's like, oh, we got 3 or 4. I'm on Reddit podcast. Now I'm stepping on your thing here.
It's all good.
But I'm like, they bank. It's like, oh, we have like 6 weeks banked. I'm like, fuck. The fuck?
Yeah.
Like, no, we do it like the week of and on release.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so.
I don't know. With I guess how the podcast, in my opinion, has changed. I think we've definitely gotten better at it. I mean, we kind of had no direction before, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't really feel like. I don't know. I kind of don't know what to say.
Would you think it's?
I said some things earlier, but
yeah, it's like that counts.
Yeah, just to refer back to that. Yeah.
I
don't know. I still say stupid.
I didn't realize
shit
how
all
much
the time.
my legs are in the shot. It's like you can see it. Like,
yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. Just Yeah. Oh, because on the camera I can't see it, but on here,
like my
smack. um,
No, I think that I've gotten better at certain things, but I really kind of just am. I still say stupid shit.
well,
You know?
I think the podcast between just you and I, it's just as natural as it can be. It's just a conversation.
Yeah, and that's
We'll
kind of what we try.
We kind of lead it because like you and I text still just like jokes or ideas or
Yeah.
whatever. Because it's like, oh, like we're texting and I am still talking to you at least once a week.
Oh, it's more than that.
Well, I mean, talking.
Oh,
And so you think about
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
And so when I saw you today, I'm like, oh man, I just talked to you the other day. I haven't seen you in months.
Yeah, like 4 months.
Yeah, I haven't seen you, but I'm like, I talk to you every week, probably at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
And so it's really us just catching up, or not even catching up, or it's like, oh, ideas. Like, oh, I was thinking about this week. And I think it's interesting. And I can't tell, I mean, listeners like it. I would assume they're still listening. And people
Thank you, by the way, for
yeah,
that.
which is awesome. And people are still supporting. And it's cool that it's turning less into like produce this and make this entertainment as much as it is. It's like,
Yeah.
we want to have an entertaining conversation because you and I like it.
Yeah. And natural too.
Mhm.
I mean, as natural as we can make it.
Yeah.
Because talking, usually just you and I, is pretty natural, I guess.
Yeah.
And now we're just throwing a mic up.
Yeah. And like, we're not really changing a lot.
Yeah.
And so I would say people who start a podcast or whatever are eventually learning their dynamics with each other. But I think because we haven't.
I would say skip that first episode though.
No, listen to those old ones.
No.
They're good. I think we've started picking up.
I started playing violin and I fucking rocked at it.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, some of the, I think we started picking up steam in our like 7. I remember 7 was like 1 because I remember we had,
It's lucky. That's why.
yeah, like I think we started just like getting the idea of like, what's the format?
Yeah.
We were doing a thing where it's like, the what's new is like cut it to like 15 minutes. And then we would do 2 topics. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now it's like, I think the last episode that we did, which was 196.
Didn't
97?
have any.
No, 196 that we just released. We did 2 topics and it ended up being like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah.
It's like now we can't do that format anymore.
Yeah.
Because we just riff on everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one topic, and I think that's kind of it. We're already well over an hour.
Yeah.
Should we just call it?
I think we should.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, the listener, for we just get all up in there, girl.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to episode 200. Hopefully you watched the video. Yeah, it was. It's been 200 episodes.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And thanks for, if you watched all 200 or listened. Yeah, you can watch maybe 10.
Yeah.
If you've listened to all 200, good on you. I
Yeah.
did too. I had to. You didn't have to.
I haven't had to.
I was fucking knocked over my fucking beer can. But it's been fun. I think hopefully we'll hit 300. Maybe we'll do something special for 300.
Well, we just crank them out. If we just did like,
Let's just start today. We'll just get all of them done.
yeah. Hey, I got a whole vacation.
I got a whole week.
Hey, boy. My arm's tired.
Oh, jeez. All right. There's a lot of jerking.
Yeah.
200 episodes of jerking. Yeah. All right. All right. We're going to do a cut because we have to get the Patreon reads. So I'm not even going to try and make it smooth.
No,
so
we should make it unsmooth. So it's like, we're like here. All
and
right.
then we cut back. Okay. So got a quick cut here. So just want to say thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. Thanks for listening. 200 episodes. This is your first episode, we got 199 more. Go listen to them.
199 and a bitch ain't one.
Bitch, yeah.
Oh.
Or a bitch is us.
Yeah, we got 2 of them.
We just got 2 fucking units up in this bitch.
Yeah. Units.
This fucking units. And then if you like the show, you can help follow along. Gonna
Yeah.
just steamroll past that fuck up. If you like the show, you can follow along on social media. We have a Facebook group. Search the Tone Jerks. You'll find it. It's also linked in the description of the podcast and the video. And then we
Join up.
Join.
Come on. Join the ranks.
And then
I mean, rank like as in like fucking smell.
PU. And then we're also on Instagram at the Tone Jerks, posting cool shit on the reg. Also linked. And then if you really like the show, you can help support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. And you get all the back catalog, which is at least, it's probably really close to 200. We did start at episode 13 and start doing bonus ones.
Lucky
but
13.
We've done bonus, we've done extras over there on Patreon. So go check that out. Patreon.com/thetone-jerks. $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month, whatever you do will help support the show.
69. That tier exists still, right?
Yeah, that it still is up there. But just for the support, we wanted to give everybody support a huge shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
I got a list right here. I'm gonna read off a phone, so super professional.
Yeah. we Kyle left the list
on my computer
in Texas. Once we went legit to go, I'm sure you could have emailed it.
Yeah, I
could have
totally
had
could
it
have.
on your phone.
I don't know. It's in WordPad. I don't know if you can email out of that.
Yeah. You couldn't even do
just take a
Microsoft
picture of
or
it.
Google Docs or whatever.
Yeah, I could have totally moved it there.
Fuck.
All right,
We got it on my phone.
It's a different order.
Yeah, it's
different order.
Scroll on my phone. Don't go to any other tabs. Don't go to the photos. Okay. So when you
Don't tell me
give
what to do.
somebody your phone, you're like,
Don't. Yeah.
they're like, oh, look at this photo. Oh, that's cool. I'm like, they start sliding. Don't look at the other ones.
Yeah.
I did that once at work. I took a picture of something like a blueprint, kind of the floor design that we were moving, and then somebody's like, "Oh, you took a picture of it, hey, Brian. Let me just take a look at your phone." I'm like, "Okay, cool, but don't look at any other photos besides that one." And she grabbed my phone. She's like, just frowning
Just
face.
send
She's
it
like,
to me.
she's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I had a.
And I'm like, "Do not look at any other photos or any other apps on that phone, okay?" And she's like, "Oh shit."
I had a.
That's my biggest. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, since we're sharing, I had someone at when I worked at the hardware store.
Mhm.
They passed me like their phone, and it had like the formula that was going to make the paint,
Yeah.
like the paint formula for what I was making. And I went to zoom in on it, and it flipped to the next picture, and it was them standing in front of a mirror, nude. And I'm like, flip back over. I'm like, all right, yeah, I can totally make that. I can make that. I'm like, fuck. Still burned in my mind.
Mine are just like
Not good.
inappropriate memes or
Yeah.
other. Anyways,
Michael McVeigh.
Michael, that's that intro.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody wants to hear about
I love
your
the awkward one. Just like,
Your
and it's Michael McVeigh.
You're-
Matthew Fenslaw.
Give it up for the hentai.
Tyler Rhines
My phone.
of Tyler Casey Riffs.
Yeah.
All right. Jonathan Jeruzik of 12th Hour Devices.
It's like can you do it with
Yeah.
the
Tim Nowick from Bardic Audio Devices.
Yeah, that one's good.
Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop
Oh, yeah,
podcast.
we all know Scott. What,
Eric Merrow from Elm Effects.
Elm Effects,
Zach Hale
not ELM Effects.
from his mother.
Your
No.
mother.
No, Zach Hale. Zach Hale's from Zach Hale Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Oxbig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Mike Oxbig
I'll throw in
worldwide.
Hugh G. Rection, even though it's not in order here.
You just had to get them together.
Yeah, got to the boys are back in town.
Polar. Yeah.
They travel together. They're leaving together.
Spread the word around.
Juan Ortiz from
Tone
Tone Hungry Effects.
Yeah, see.
Steve Rao from 60 Cycle Hum. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Mel Chipson of Chipson Guitars.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you got to hide their real name.
Yeah. Nicholas Ogburn. I already read Hugh. Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars.
He, old Ryan there at 60 Cycle, bleep out that name, did a video of Nutter Guitars. Fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the Summer Nam, that acoustic.
Yeah, you
God damn.
can't mention someone else's name in this segment.
Band.
This is
band,
hollow.
bam, bam,
This is
bam.
hollowed section. Here.
Yeah.
Segment. Here.
We'll send him an invoice. Ryan, fucking hook, you got to pay us $1. He just sues us.
Nicholas Payson. This is getting painful. You're killing me here.
Getting juicy.
Alvaro Viramontes. Colin Smith of Mr. Specific.
There you go.
I'll put that on my notes. We gotta shout out his band.
Yeah, actually, I think it was last year. His band kicks ass. They did live streams.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Really cool.
Way better than some of the ones we did.
Yeah, a lot better than ours.
Keep it up, Colin. We look up to you.
You're making us look bad.
Yeah. Sean Fahey. Kevin E. Quits from E. Quits Guitars. Steve Mike from Hardly Human. I have to close my eyes and read the just to make it as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop.
It's got pickups.
Yeah.
I thought it was pedals, but it's pickups.
You're dumb.
They both start with a P, you fucking putz.
Can you spell that one? Doug King.
The Young King.
Doug King, the Young King. Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove.
Oh, yeah.
I flash my eyes again and
Blink.
Oh, man. This one's going to be tough. Doug Christ from 37 Effects. Masters of the Cinematic Universe. Just Surprise Me podcast.
Yeah.
I could have made that smoother. Jason Fuzzmonger.
Moving on.
Yeah. Got it. Jamie Davis. Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast. Abe Newman. Joseph. I guess it's Joe.
Yeah.
Joe from Like My Pedals.
He's Joseph to me.
It'll always be Joseph.
Yeah. To his friends, he's Joe.
Joe.
He's Joseph to us.
He says, to my friends, I'm Joe, but you can call me Joseph.
Yeah.
I didn't really say it in the microphone, but it probably picked it up. Joe from Like My Pedals, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and Just Surprise Me podcast.
There you go.
And here we go. I guess they didn't change this one back. We talked about this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is one that I think he changed it a little bit ago and we never updated it. This one's good.
Yeah, this is Howie. This is Howie Felter Snatch, formerly known as Johnny Ray.
These are the Bart Simpson names that you could change.
Yeah.
That we will read on Patreon.
It's funny. He still wants his actual name read still.
Yeah.
All right. We have Teletalks. That is RJ Smith.
RJ, your boy RJ.
He jumps in on some other podcasts too.
Yeah. He's on Just Surprise Me. Check him out. What up?
We have Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers podcast. And there's no more on the list that I'm reading, so
I think that's it. All right.
That was painful.
Hopefully we got everybody.
Yes.
I mean, if it's Patreon fucking up if we didn't get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
We will see you next time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.